Hello, everybody, and welcome to Late Night Football. Welcome to our double header. Well, we call it double header because it's back-to-back episodes, so we don't normally do that. Not a literal double header, but back-to-back episodes. And we did the Champions League review yesterday, and we're now in that part of the season where games come thick and fast. It's kind of what we like. So we've got our Premier League preview for this weekend as well to come. So joining me today on the show is Knayha back again on the show. Knayha, welcome to the show. I think it's your
Thank
first
you.
time doing a preview show, isn't it? Like, and
Yeah,
we normally,
finally.
yeah, no, we
Finally,
normally
after.
come, yeah, Kanai usually comes after the action is done, but today we're gonna have him come before the action, yeah. And we also got
Yes.
Prakher back on the show after a while. Prakher, welcome back.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Yes, it's definitely great to have. And yes, I know it's three United fans, but that's okay. We will manage. We will try to be as neutral as possible about things. Right, let's get right into it. Let's get into it. Let's start with. Let's start with Burnley against Arsenal. That's the first big game. And there's a lot of things actually to talk about. But we'll start with Burnley against Arsenal. Norwich finally got a win. Finally won against Norwich. Prakar, is it like the start of something good? Is it the start of a beautiful friendship, or is it just a stay of execution for Mikel Arteta? I think that's the question, isn't it?
I don't think so that they will go up like it's something beautiful. Like you said that they will go up. I don't think so. I think
Okay.
this game will be a much tougher one than Norwich.
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think Burnley are a better side than Norwich are at this point. Norwich are just, I think they're one of the early candidates for relegation already, which is kind of sad in itself.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, well, there's a few good positives, I think, for Mikel Arteta. I think, yeah, I mean, they got Partey's back now. I think it looks like Aubameyang is back to full fitness as well. So players are coming back in. I mean, the Arsenal fans will tell you their season started from the fourth game onwards. They'll try to tell you that. Maybe it does. But it looks like the week off is going to help them, isn't it? Many of the other teams have played midweek, and Burnley are not one of those sides. But it'll help that they have had a week off of training and just working on their fitness.
Absolutely, I think this just kind of adds a little more. As Arsenal fans, I think that's exactly what Arteta will also be telling his team. Like, this is when our season starts now. We've got the first win of the game. I think that's where we just forget about the first, how it started. Let's not even talk about it. We have obviously they're playing a very young side, a very inexperienced team as well, with Lokonga starting his first, like, you don't see debuts so early for just summer signings, that you don't generally see them happening so quickly. But the way they kind of got into it, and also the issues, they were like the defensive issues that were kind of immediately shining bright for them, with Ben White as well coming out, and then and so that kind of felt a little. I felt, as we've discussed previously as well in previous shows, that it just feels a little harsh on them. It needs a reset. The betting window on the first manager to be sacked is pretty high on Arteta still. But then I think that this should start a revival. But the problem with Arsenal right now is that you can't really trust them. I think that's something which I myself have. I want to believe back that he can bring this out, but then I still have to see, because Norwich game was pretty, you expected that to happen, and it was not that they were thumping winners.
Yeah,
they thumped them. They were like thrashing 5 goals or 6 goals, or everything just came out there. They did win just by a goal against the most struggling side. Basically, it was as if like, who's fighting relegation here? So that was kind of how the game. I felt that's how I felt.
Well, considering the Arsenal were bottom of the table, they technically were fighting relegation at that point. Maybe I shouldn't say that. But I mean, it's interesting though, because you mentioned about the point that you made about players coming back to fitness, about revival happening. What is the revival for Arsenal? I mean, that's the question, isn't it? What is the goal? Because do you look at top 4 as a goal? I mean, some people will say, well, maybe should be the goal now, but is top 4 a realistic goal? Is the revival meaning that they will finish in the top 10, top 7? Because we keep changing the goalposts for Arsenal, don't we, when it comes to what is a revival?
Because it's been so uncertain, you can't, I don't really see people, I really don't have an expectation. Even if they finish, the only thing is that they should not just the only thing they should ensure is that they don't get relegated. After this, that's in my.
I mean that. Oh my God, that is a harsh. I don't know. Is it a harsh statement? Is it like to say that?
No, but
is that what this is saying? That they should not get relegated? Is that even something that we should be talking about?
I think by December, because you really don't know. We've seen this happen. Like we've seen top clubs kind of going down, a rabbit hole, spiraling out for like a couple of 10 games, and then starting a little slowly. Each one game is do you want to call it a revival? I would not be that quick to call it a revival starting against Norwich. I want to see how they play against Burnley. Burnley's not a bad squad. They've been playing pretty well as well. And also with the manager getting an extension, he will have added boost as well there. Sean Dyche there for him, so he'll want to kind of prove his point as well to the management that he's the right person. So I want to see how this Burnley game plays out, and then possibly in the next we can just talk about how is this finally a start.
Yeah,
I was going to the same thing. I was going to say the same thing.
The revival is that they should avoid relegation. That's a revival.
Yeah.
Oh my. Okay. I don't know.
Avoid
if you're
relegation.
an Arsenal fan and you're still watching this and you haven't turned it off yet, please let us know what you think of these guys saying stuff. Okay, just know that these are the guys saying it. I'm not saying it. Okay, these guys are saying it, but you can let me know what you think in the comments. Which is interesting. I think the final point on this one, I think the one player that might benefit from not playing 2 games a week, I think is Kieran Tierney, because he's absolutely, he's injury prone. He's injury prone. I think maybe having a season where he doesn't have to play 2 games a week on a regular basis, it's going to help him. It should help him. And if he still gets injured, then I think the Arsenal have a problem. But they should help him at least, to build his fitness, not having to play every. What's the over under on him getting injured soon? Anyway, I hope not. I hope he stays fit. He's a good player. He's a good left back. Someone that's worth
watching. He's like Dembele. He's like Dembele, always unfit.
Oh my! Well, Arsenal have enough of those. They don't need them. They've got who is that? Abu Dhabi and Jack Wilshere. All new signings. That is like a new signing that's come back every season. There was a new signing. Anyway. All right. Score predictions. Prakher, what's your score prediction for this one?
1-1.
1-1. Okay. Knayha?
I think Arsenal will score more. I think 3-0.
3-0.
I want them to revive, basically. I really don't. I feel really bad about them, kind of. I want them to kind of come out.
Willing them to win.
Yes, I just want them to win. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it will be 2-1 to Arsenal. 2-1 or 3-1, something like that. No, actually, not 2-1. 2-0. 2-0 to Arsenal, not 2-1. 2-0. Because I honestly, I struggle to see where the goals are coming for Burnley. They have a problem scoring goals, and I don't know where it's coming. And as bad as Arsenal defense might be, I think they should have enough to hold off Burnley. But
when they'll have Tomiyasu as well starting, I think.
Yeah.
With Ben White also coming in, so that's that. I think Tierney is already there. Yeah. So I think that's that kind of that combination is something that's for the future.
Yeah.
Holding and Mari. Mari, and I think that combination didn't work. We saw that.
Mm-hmm.
White and Tomiyasu is something that he'll try. It's new. I'm hoping these boys will kind of hold back, but yeah,
that will be important to see. Anyway, so that's a prediction for that. Very quickly, I think we'll talk about Norwich against Watford, because we don't always want to keep all talking about top 4 stuff. Prakher, this is a 6-pointer. It's a relegation 6-pointer. Is it too early to say that? But it looks like a relegation 6-pointer, doesn't it? Between these two teams?
I think so too.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a fight for relegation, right? Like it was against Arsenal as well for Norwich.
Oh my God. Okay, but I think you need a little bit of break from talking. I think you need to mute yourself now for a little bit. I think that we'll have to change gears. If Norwich lose this game, I think Watford have got 1 win, but if Norwich lose this game, it's what are the prospects for them? Because it's going to be they need to win this one, quite simply. Same thing. Their season starts now, as we keep saying. Everybody's season starts. Their season starts now, because therefore
it could be that I don't know if they want to go for wins as well, because that's what they would want to hold off. They've not scored a point yet. We've also seen Newcastle struggle. Burnley is at still the same. So for me, I think they're mostly because that's always it's a new they come from the Championship. They've struggled, but then they have to hold off these teams. Like Watford is a game where you don't want to lose, or you won't want to even look for a draw. Like these are the games where you're going to try to play for stalemate. I think that's their best result. Because I don't know, Pookie, I don't think there's going to be a Pookie party in my mind. Watford has not been that bad as well. Sar is there. They have creators. Dennis has been scoring. It's not going to be that easy for Norwich to hold off this. But then, we know they're going to be struggling this season. The quality right now in Premier League, the level that we are seeing, like imagine you can just imagine how bad it is right now with the whole the quality around all the players and them performing as well. So I think Norwich has a good squad. It's not they're a bad squad, but they just need to kind of hold and make it difficult for the teams to kind of score against them, because I think that's the key. If you remember the old Premier League days, where it'll be very hard to kind of play the bottom 10 for anybody. Like that was the battle. Like everybody's playing amazing. Like they're packing it up. They're not kind of they're playing counter only. And Norwich does play that actually. Norwich is known for that. But then that's it.
It's a home game against Watford. So you have to go for it. Otherwise, if you can't win games at home against Watford, you're in trouble. So,
but that's my problem again. If the flip side is they could easily lose as well if they kind of try too much.
Yeah, but I mean, is a point really enough? I don't know. Maybe a point is enough. Maybe it's that time of the season when you don't start. I don't know. Anyway, all right. Anyway, we'll move on to the next game because I know we've got quite a few things to cover. So we'll go with Manchester City against Southampton. That's another interesting one. I mean, Knayha, the question is, what are the odds on another 9-0? That's if people ask, is this the one where they'll score 9? But I don't know. City seem to be settling now. They look to be in top gear. They're scoring goals. Maybe not. Well, I mean, this would be a nice one to have others on this one. Maybe not keeping clean sheets, but they're scoring them. It seems like everybody is gelling now. At least as an attacking unit.
Yeah, I think only the fans is a problem. It seems now.
Oh, okay. Oh my God. Yeah, the fans are a problem. I don't know the fans are a problem, but Pepsi might seem to think. Yeah, I mean, Pep, he did say that Southampton are a dangerous team, and so he needs the fans. I don't know how true that is, and maybe I might be up for it. But we'll talk about it. Maybe we'll converge on that after this little bit of a segment here. But hopefully. I mean, it's but we're just talking about the attack though. It's looking like it's settling now after that Spurs game.
Absolutely. They're growing with confidence, with Grealish kind of also scoring. Champions League. This is how Pep lifts players as well. He gives them those moments where they kind of feel much more, and they're like, this is what I can do in a Champions League game. Like why wouldn't be I able to do it against Southampton? And I really wouldn't be surprised if they score more than 5 again. I seriously won't, because they're scoring at free will right now. The only problem could be like if they get an early red card or something like that happens in that game. Only then I think Southampton is able to hold them up. Otherwise, they're scoring goals for free right now.
Yeah, red cards can change games, can't they, for teams anyway? But not every team. For some teams it changes. Some teams are fine. Prakher, I mean, this is something I was thinking about right now. I've been thinking. So we've been talking about Diaz, Stones, Laporte, and they've got 3 good players for 2 positions, which is great. They've got so many attacking spots now. If you were to pick a front 3, a proper front 3 for City, who's going to be in it for you? Like, if you had to pick your ideal front 3 for City, I mean, Adarsh again would have been a nice person to ask this, but but still, I mean, if you were to pick that front 3 for City,
yeah. I think I will pick Diaz, and then.
No, sorry, your front 3, not your back 3. Front 3.
Oh, sorry.
So if you pick, you could put Diaz in your front 3 if you wanted, but maybe not. So I mean, you've got Jack Grealish, you've got Riyad Mahrez.
Pep has also not thought of it.
You've got Bernardo Silva, you've got Ferran Torres. At 5, and we're not talking about Phil Foden because he's injured, and maybe we'll leave him out just for this. But you've got those 5 players.
Isn't he back?
He's sort of back, but I don't think he's full fitness yet. So
okay. Is Jesus back?
I'm sorry, Jesus. Yeah, and then you got Jesus as well, right? So you got 6, right? So you got to pick 3 out of those. Who do you pick?
I think I will pick Riaz, Jesus, and Torres.
Wow. Okay, so you're leaving out the £100 million man. You're leaving out the golden boy, and there's the 6th person there. I don't even know. Wow. Yeah, but see, that's what we're talking about. It's embarrassment of riches, isn't it, for City? Because you got to pick 3, and you can't go wrong either way because you pick those 3. So it's good. It's that I think that's what makes City so good as in the league, doesn't it? Just the fact that they have so many options to compete with, which is just incredible. Southampton, I mean, what can they do? I mean, they got a draw against United. Now that is very hard to get those kind of results, but they did something there. There is something. They've got a good defense actually, when you think about it, because they've got Livramento, who's been very good. He's been keeping Kyle Walker-Peters out of the side. They've got a young defense, but a talented defense. Is there any way for them to kind of contain Manchester City? Aside from red cards, let's assume that's going to be 11.
We have seen extraordinary things happen like that in such games, like the young ones just kind of troubling Pep, holding them. We have seen this. It's not impossible. The problem where Southampton has lost the script is generally kind of getting conceding a goal within the first 10 minutes. And that's when it kind of just drops off. I think but they have learned from that as well. I don't think they're as strong as they were previous years defensively. They have, young potential in that. As you said, Livramento is there. He's keeping Kyle Walker. Maybe they all start this time with a back 5 or something. Could be, but then it's going to be difficult for them, because I don't see them scoring. That's okay. Shea Adams, I don't know if he has something that Armstrong that they've got is the Adam. He was a surprise, but then the creativity part as well. They have Romeo who plays. James Ward-Prowse is there as well. Nathan Redmond is there. You just read those names and you just feel that they're more defensively oriented right now. Mm-hmm. And I think with City as well, they'll have to think like that. If you can't beat them on attack, you can't beat City, and because the defense is going really well as well. You've Diaz. I think Laporte is injured. Maybe. I think you have Stones, but I don't know if Stones starts, because Stones has not started any game yet. Does he start? That's his first game. Could be, and he has scored against Southampton as well, if I'm not wrong. So and Walker and Cancelo. So they have options. So, but my only thing is they don't have to be worried about conceding City, and Southampton do lack that. I think they'll possibly play 1 up and 5 in the defense, just to kind of hold off. But it's not. It could be again, first 10 minutes. In my mind, if they are able to hold off, the game kind of continues. Southampton can start to kind of get some rhythm in. I think that's something that they've lacked. Like when they, last time there was like first 2 minutes. That's when the first. I think the red card as well. In the last time.
That was a
well.
fake result. That doesn't happen. I mean, not those kind of 9-0s don't happen. So, but anyway, there could be 9-0. Anyway, let's do score predictions. Prakher, what's your prediction?
I think it's 4-0 Man City.
4-0 Man City. Okay, Knayha?
I think it's going to be not. I think around 2-0, 2-0 or something.
Manchester City.
It's Man City, yeah.
No, you know what? I'll take your 4-0. I'll take your 2-0. I'll combine them. I'll make it 6-0 to Manchester City. That's what I'm saying is going to happen, because I honestly feel that they're hitting their stride right now. So I know it's a bit bold, but you know what? I've this whole thing now doing bold predictions. So I'm going to say it's going to be 6-0 to Manchester City. That's what I think. Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about the fans. Let's talk about this thing about Pep Guardiola and the fans. We'll get both of your views on this. So let's start with you, Prakher. I mean, is he right to ask for that? Is he right to say that he wants more fans? Do you think that where's the crux of this issue? I mean, the fact is the defense that comes from the City fans is that we always get trolled for this. So the manager shouldn't say it. But I mean, that's not a reason to not say it, is it? Or should not say it? I mean, it's just
I think he should not say it. Why? All the fans are coming, right? The limited amount of fans that are coming. So why would he say that I want more fans? I think
No, the restrictions are off now. So there's
There
not
are
a
no
stadium
I
restrictions.
think they will come. I think fans should come by themselves. Manager has not to go to us. Like, I want fans to come because we are not playing good. They are playing good, right? They're not playing bad. And he's saying that I want fans because we have a tough opponent.
Yeah. No, I think he just wants more fans so that they can see the beautiful football that he's put. He's an artist, right? And he's got this canvas, which is the football field. And, art is only as good as the people that see it. So he wants people to see his work of art. I'm just paraphrasing it. But I mean, again,
they can watch on TV as well.
Well, it's like, digital. Do you want to watch it on TV or do you want to watch it in person? I don't know. I mean, I get why fans who want to come, and the expenses are quite high. It does cost a lot of money and things like that. But again, I mean, Knayha, where you stand on this issue? Where do you stand on this issue? See, Prakhar's just gone away because he's got a call from someone. I'm telling you who's been calling him, talking about Manchester City right now. He's got a call from a certain country, probably calling him up right now, asking him to change his views. But anyway, Knayha, what do you think?
I think it's fair. I think it's fair enough to for a manager to kind of rile up the fans as well. I think it's more to do with what he feels the fans bring in to his players. I think that's the concern. Like, you could see, we'll definitely talk about the CR7 effect, the Ronaldo effect, with that stadium like almost coming down, the roof coming down when he's announced. When he touches, and that's just electrifying. That whatever you do, if you have fans behind you, they're like going crazy. That's kind of motivates, and it's fair enough because because if his team is performing, the fans should be there, and because they've it's not that the last year there were no fans, and if you're getting a moment right now to kind of be with them and enjoy this, because you don't really know how long this lasts as well. I'm hoping the restrictions are over forever, but if there is an outbreak somewhere and then suddenly you feel okay, we're closing again, so he's basically, I think that's what he's trying to rile up. Like, you don't know what's going to happen. It's been so long that we've played without fans, and now when you're coming in small numbers. And also I feel the fact that they have 100 million guy there. They've signed somebody who is amazing to watch, in my opinion. He is, and the way he just plays, and in the whole way City is playing as well. It's just, as you said, he's an artist, and it's his magic in motion. So why wouldn't he want more audience for it? I think it's fair enough.
I just wonder, though, because, and then we'll talk about the next game, because I think he looks at Anfield and he looks at how the atmosphere is so vibrant.
Exactly.
He's been at Barcelona, he's seen the atmosphere, the Camp Nou. Germany, is known for vibrant stadiums. So he sees that vibrance, and then he comes to Manchester City. And maybe in England in general, I think that the atmosphere is a little bit sterile. It's a little bit more sanitized, if that's the word. And so he probably wants that emotion and that atmosphere.
The raw emotion.
The passion. And maybe he doesn't get it. I don't know. Maybe that's always the thing, right? But maybe that is the reason. I don't know where I stand on it. I don't think it was. I know the general reaction is like, oh, empty seats and empty heart and all that. But I think there's something more visceral at play there. But anyway, we're talking about Anfield. That's our next game, Liverpool against Crystal Palace. It's a very interesting one. I mean, Liverpool almost blew it against AC Milan, and then they came back and 1-0 up, 2-1 down, 3-2. They won it in the end against Milan. It was that was an entertaining game.
Yeah, with Salah missing the penalty as well. So
yeah, I know. Yeah, but... let's start with you, Prakher, on this one, because let's talk about Crystal Palace for a minute before we talk about Liverpool. Let's talk about Crystal Palace, because they came into the game against Spurs with absolutely no hope, to be honest. Like, Spurs were rampant, and then they found a way to score 3 goals. They've now finally broken the jinx of winning. They've broken the jinx of scoring goals. So I know the news that I saw, but they're going to pose a challenge for Liverpool in some ways. Especially with Olsone Edouard, I guess, now back in the side. That's going to be a challenge.
I don't think so that they will post a big challenge against Liverpool. I think Liverpool will breeze past them easily.
But I think I've got to stop asking questions. Every time I ask you something, I don't think so. Like, I don't think so. And oh my God, Prakher, you're like the contrarian on our show right now. No, but it makes sense. I mean, the thing though with Liverpool though is that there is an issue with their defense, because they are conceding goals. Yeah. They did keep a clean sheet against Leeds, but before that they're conceding goals. So they're not as solid as they used to be. Maybe that's just getting used to it. But I mean, if there's vulnerability, you would expect Crystal Palace to be able to exploit it, and they'll have to.
Absolutely, I think that makes sense, because to me, that just gives you confidence. You're beating Spurs. You're not supposed to beat them, actually.
Top of the table Spurs.
Yeah, exactly. Like the first time ever, and they've been. I don't say they've been. Spurs has been playing brilliantly, but then they're still top. Nuno has been great to them. I think that's just managerial. But then, just talking about Crystal Palace, I think that just gives Patrick Vieira, his managerial career as well. Just imagine, he's just kind of he has had a win against a big club. He has his next game against somebody he knows. The club, what that stadium feels like. Obviously, he's played at the old one. This is the new Anfield, and But then the idea is he will gain confidence, and of course, the super sub. Suddenly, the super sub that he has right in his pocket, he can kind of bring him up. He is full of confidence as well. Zaha will be confident. The defense point that you put up, Liverpool, obviously, and Benteke has been somebody who likes to terrorize that. Van Dijk has breezed in those games where he's kind of easily tactically won those battles. There is a little uncertainty there. Obviously, attacking wise, there is no doubt how amazing. Robertson will come back as well. Robertson is there. We have Trent as well there. Trent is also there. So Salah, Jota, and Mane. I think with Firmino kind of out for injury.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, the thing with Liverpool is they have a good 11. It's whether they have game changers off the bench. I bet if you win games like Liverpool do, you don't generally need game changers off the bench. Yeah. But anyway, but the one thing, the Prakher, is Thiago Alcantara. Is he finally settling in? I think is he finally beyond just the thumbs up? And I know again those memes that happen, the thumbs up, but he's finally starting to show his quality at the club now, because he had a couple of good games.
For once I will go with you.
Yeah, you better this one. I was gonna just see he checked. No, it's okay. No, we appreciate.
I think he's settling in pretty well at Liverpool, and I think he will do good this season as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think they will need him, because there will be teams that will park the bus, and then you need that creativity, and you probably need his creativity to unlock. There's not a lot. Again, every time we come to Liverpool, it's not a lot to talk, because I feel Liverpool are so settled, and they don't really have a lot of squad options, right? It's like what the 11 is going to be, what the 14 by and large is going to be. It's so settled, and yet we all know what's going to happen when I do the predictions, because I know what's coming. So anyway, what are score predictions? Let's go. Knayha, let's start with you this time.
Just a point on that, the Elliott incident is something which is something which will kind of push Thiago this time. He, we saw him play, and I think that's something that has kind of, because Klopp has no option right now. He has to, because Elliott was his number one that he was planning to start with. This Thiago just kind of is the default number one. He has to now step up. So I'm mostly interested to see how, because he's now going to start playing game after game after game. He's going to get the minutes now, much easier. I think with the prediction wise, I think it's going to be 3-0 to Liverpool. I'm skewing a little 3-1. I feel there will be a goal by Palace, but I really don't know how, because I feel it's 3-0 Liverpool.
Okay, Prakher?
I think it will be 3-1
to Liverpool, right? We want to be respectful, Liverpool. So we will put the name of the club. We don't want to say
3-1 to Liverpool.
3-1 to Liverpool. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I think it makes sense. Okay, do you think the 3 goals? Do you think it will be a hat trick from Salah or Mane? Just a quick, or do you think it will be 3 goals from different players?
No, I think it's going to be Salah all the way.
Salah, okay.
Or Jota. Salah or Jota.
Yeah, I think it'll be 4-1. Unless I'm going to go 4-1 to Liverpool. I just have this. I hate this guy Diogo Jota, because every time he seems to play, he scores a goal. I hate him in a different way. Not that I hate him, but but I think he'll score a hat trick against Palace for 1. They did win 7-0 last year, by the way, just so people know. So, and that was the last time they played. They had a good game, and then everything sort of fell apart after that. I don't know what happened after that, but they scored 7 goals. But I think it'll be 4-1 to Liverpool. I think that they're going to be too strong. They're my pick, to finish in the top 3 anyway, and to be title challengers this year. So And definitely not a surprise there. All right, I think we won't talk about this, but I just want to make a point about Aston Villa and Everton. I think Everton have quietly surprised me. I thought they would struggle this season, but they're quietly building a nice team, and I'm kind of intrigued to see where Rafa Benitez takes them, because there are some things that they are missing Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but he's trying to reshape that team, and it'll be interesting to see what they do next season. But let's move on to the next. We got 2 more games to cover. So we'll talk about, West Ham against Manchester United. Now, this is the first of a doubleheader. United do play West Ham again in the League Cup. So there's 2 West Ham games to watch out for. I mean, there's a lot of things to talk about. Let's start with Man United this time. Let's start with United first. You think about all that high that happened after Newcastle. Everybody's happy. Everybody's thinking about title challenges. I don't know why they think about it, but they thought about it. And then young boys come and they bring you back down to earth. I mean, is that a blip? Is that a reality check? Or is that something much, much deeper?
I think it's a reality check. I think it's something of a shock. I think that's how United have been in Europe as well. They need a kind of a wake-up call, like a slap on the face, and then be like, okay, we didn't win this. I think the last season was against Istanbul, yes. So I was like, that was again something similar, and that kicked off their season. Then that's where they were like, oh, we can't be that complacent, or something like that. So I think this, and it's not an easy game coming back from young boys. West Ham is on.
Yeah, they missed West Ham.
Yeah, but then I think for United, it's a wake up call. It's a reality check. Ole has admitted to that as well. It's something of a good that it's a shock defeat, and we kind of move on from this. He has a squad. There is no doubt. He has a squad to play. And I was seeing some images as well. Rashford is back in training, or kind of doing light training as well. So that just kind of, picks up everybody else on the front, like Greenwood, Ronaldo as well, thinking, okay, Rashford coming in, Sancho has to start thinking about, what is he up to, and, needs to start scoring goals. Lingard has to think about as well, the future. So I think he has a lot of options, but I still don't know who is Ole really backing. That's my only thing. I really don't know.
No, I don't think he knows that who is backing. I mean,
front three or something. Yeah.
I mean, before I come to you, Prakher, on a question, just a note on Ronaldo. I think he's got on Rashford. I think he's got Ronaldo's fitness trainer, because I saw him. He looks ripped. He looks much more ripped than he did a while ago. I think he's got Ronaldo's fitness trainer on his to do his gym work as well. It's very good. But anyway, not that I am.
Imagine the trainer's DMs he'll be getting every day. Like, okay, I've just done this. What do you want me to do next?
Anyway, that's just something to think. But Prakher, I mean, even before what happened on Tuesday, I talked about Wan-Bissaka, and I think he's one of the players that he hasn't had a good season. I mean, even before the red card, he was having a pretty average season. There is a problem. And I know people keep talking about the right back as not a big problem, but there is a problem there. And do you think, do you think he should be rested now and Diogo Dalot should play? The problem is there is another game on Wednesday in the Carabao Cup. So you're thinking Dalot might start that one. And so he might rest him for this one. But would you just bring in Dalot for this one and just give Wan-Bissaka a break?
I don't think so. Sorry.
No,
but I don't think. I think when Bissaka will play and Dalot will play the midweek game.
Yeah. Would you want to see Dalot start? I mean, I know we don't think so, but would you want to see him start this one?
I don't think. I want Wan-Bissaka to start. It will be good for his confidence, I think.
Okay. I get it. I would actually want Dalot to start this one just because I think he's impressed me a little bit, and I think it would help Wan-Bissaka not to become. I think he's one of those players who's kind of taken his place for granted. And not to disagree with you, but I know I assume Wan-Bissaka will start, and for his confidence it would be good. But I just feel he's one of those players who's kind of taken his place for granted. Like he thinks he's going to start no matter what. I think just dropping him for this one would be like, you know what, you're not untouchable in the squad. There's somebody there who is fighting for your spot. I mean, that's what I would. That's how I would. Yeah. I know, and I'm not a manager, so I don't get paid to make those decisions. But that's just what I would think. I just feel like he's one of those who's got a bit comfortable.
Maybe give him a reality check, right?
I'm sorry.
Maybe give him a reality check.
Yeah. Basically, give him a reality check. Tell him, that's I think what needs to happen. But anyway, we'll talk about West Ham. There's 3 more questions about United, but we'll come back. We'll talk about West Ham. Knayha quietly building a side that is good. They had a good win against Zagreb in the Europa League, but that is something they did play on Thursday. Now they're gonna play on Sunday. But they had Moyes is doing a job. He's doing a good job. They've got options. They've got good players. This is not a regular mid-table side. This is a proper top 7 team that they're playing against.
Absolutely, and it's that's what I said. I think one of the previous shows we did say that they were exciting to watch. They are a side. They're a squad like which you're not. Yeah, they're not playing like a mid-table or a just trying to get through top 10 or surviving bottom 10 or something. They are looking extreme, and they've been building up. If you see the last season as well, they were right there. Okay, Lingard got all the attention, but it was West Ham that was winning. Lingard got all the attention for scoring goals and so on, and they played him well. They are there. Moyes is doing the job properly, and also the confidence that these European nights give you when you come back winning is way different. So that's, I think, a big psychological boost as well. That's why I said it's not an easy game for United. They lost to young boys. Okay, you have CR, you have Cristiano Ronaldo, you have the Pogba, you have the Bruno Fernandes, but then you lost. And then there is a team which kind of won against Zagreb in Europe, in the Europa League as well. And they have good players. Okay, they're missing Antonio. Of course, that's a big miss. I think with Antonio's red card in the last minute, the previous game, that's definitely a big miss. But then they have the squad. They have Fornals can start. They can. Benrahma is like playing amazing. Declan Rice. Wow.
That was. Yeah, they've got pretty much like everyone. Lanzini as well, who can turn it on when needs. They've got options. Prakher, just a question here before I talk about Man United, before we conclude with United. Is Declan Rice an £80 million player? Or is he someone, let's say at the end of the season, you would go and say, yes, I'm going to spend £80 million on Declan Rice?
I think so. I think he's a good player and I would spend that much money on him. I think he brings something to the table, something different to the table, right? Which team lacks.
Yeah, I've liked Declan Rice since I think Ollie's first summer. It was when I was like pushing. I think I was pushing at that time. We didn't have a channel at that time, so it was not pushing. But I was like, he should sign Declan Rice, and that's 3 years ago, I believe that he joined. Yeah. Was it 3? No, 2 years ago, 2 summers ago, 2019, right? And I was like, he should sign Declan Rice because I thought he was a great player, but a good player at that time to have. But they haven't signed him yet. Probably might not because there are other teams interested. But one player to watch, obviously. If you can't get Jude Bellingham, that is, of course, now there's a talent there. But anyway, let's conclude this one with discussion on Man United. And I think that the only question to ask, obviously, is the team selection. Prakher, has Donny van de Beek done? Because, obviously, you expect Varane to come in for Lindelof, and you're expecting Greenwood to come in. So that means one of Sancho or Donny van de Beek has to come out. Has Donny van de Beek done enough to stay instead of Sancho, or do you think it will be Sancho who starts?
I think it will be Sancho, 100%. I think Sancho will start and Donny van de Beek will be a substitute.
It is interesting, isn't it, when you think about, because I actually thought Donny van de Beek played better than Sancho. Yeah. I think he did. And I think we all agree that he did. The question is, does the manager trust him? I don't know. I feel the fact that he took off Sancho before he took off Van de Beek, I think that for me shows that maybe he trusts Van de Beek a little bit more now. But I don't know if he trusts him enough to start him against West Ham. We keep this endless debate, isn't it, about Donny van de Beek? But
don't know. You really don't know.
Yeah,
because of the games. So go ahead.
No, but I was going to think it's the team as well, isn't it? If you're going to play Scott McTominay, because I think he's fit now. The question is, do you play Fred and McTominay? I don't think he should. But if you're going to play Pogba as a midfielder, you can't play Donny van de Beek. So the only way that it happens, and I don't think Pogba should play in midfield against West Ham anyway. I think that's a disaster waiting to happen. So I think Pogba should play on the left wing. And then that means that you have to bring Donny van de Beek in then, otherwise, unless you play Fred and McTominay. But then you've got to bring in Donny van de Beek if you're going to play Pogba on the left, because you obviously can't play. Right?
It's a tricky one, I think, in my mind. Because the problem with Sancho, I think, is like if you do that, if you put Van de Beek in, and you're making a point there, basically saying, I need to give him more time than you, or we have to manage somehow. How do I play? Because I think he starts Fred and McTominay together. I think he will do that because that's his go-to. When he struggles, when he needs a solid performance, that's what he does. Or it generally kind of goes with that one. Pogba on the left, and I think he'll start. So that's and Van de Beek, I think, has spoken out as well. If in the interview as well, that he has had a discussion with Ole, and then he wants him to trust him and so on. I don't know what that even means. If you're not getting game time that much, but then okay, he's willing to stay. He's willing to kind of persevere. Because you have to think about the players as well. The players he has on the bench. Lingard will be there, sitting on the bench next to him. I don't know who.
Will be there.
Cavani.
I don't know how. Yeah,
Matic,
you got Lingard, you got Matic, you've got. You probably might have Sancho on the bench if he's not going to start. You got all these players on the bench, and only 3 of them can come on, sadly. So exactly. It's gonna be a problem. But I mean that those are the decisions that are gonna be made. I think it's beyond trust. I think it's beyond trust at this point for Oli with Donny van de Beek. I just think there's something we don't know that is happening behind the scenes. I don't know what it is, but it's beyond trust. Because if it was trust, they would have been okay to say, go somewhere else. I think there's something much, much deeper there. But anyway, we won't know until much later on. Anyway, let's look at the score predictions. Prakher, let's start with you.
I think it will be 2-0 West Ham.
To Man United. To West Ham. 2-0 to West Ham. To West Ham. Yeah, and you know what? Yeah, okay. I'll put my views on that. Knayha, what do you think?
I think it's going to be a draw. I think it's going to be 1-1. They're going to bore each other out. I think that's and both will play safe because West Ham wouldn't want to lose because defensively, luckily United. Okay, there was a freak mistake from Lingard which made that young boy's goal, but defensively they've been much better. Varane has kind of gotten solidity, so it won't be easy. They're missing Anthony as well. It's not going to be easy scoring. But then it's not that they lack creativity. They have creative players, and I think if Van Bissaka will start, he will begin because he wants to play his squad. That's what Oli does. He's like, this is my best squad. I'll just let them on the field and see how this goes. But I think it's going to be a 1-1 in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, Prakher said 2-0 to West Ham. I was thinking that's it's a very interesting prediction that you made there. But I mean, to be honest, it's not that far off, and we don't know what's going to happen. But just because Prakher said 2-0, I will say 3-1. I was going to go 2-0 as well, but I'm going to go 3-1 to West Ham because I don't know. Wow. I just feel. Yeah, I just don't know. I just feel that this is because United have not played well at West Ham for a while. I mean, aside from the fact last season they didn't have crowds, but they've never really played well at West Ham. And West Ham will have the crowd behind them. United, coming off with defeat. The problem is with United is you don't know when the one defeat is a blip or whether it's the start of a fall. So I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I just have a feeling. I just have a bad feeling about this game for some reason. So I think it will be 3-1 to West Ham. I think that's what they
Interesting.
Will do. Yeah, that's just
bold.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
I thought mine was bold.
I'm sorry.
You thought mine was bold.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not. See, the thing is, if you look at West Ham as a top 7 team, then it's not really that outrageous a prediction because they're playing away against it. And the thing is, the point that I want to make is, I don't think they'll win both games. United won't win both games against West Ham. They at best they'll win one. So the question is whether they win this one or they win the Carabao Cup one, and which one do you want more? This is kind of the thing. So I don't think they win both games. So anyway, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I think it will be 3-1 to West Ham. I think they're a very good team. I don't think we should be, sugarcoating that, and we don't need to be mincing words around.
Absolutely.
West Ham are a very good team, and that's just what it is. Anyway, final game, big one. Actually, the biggest game of the weekend, at least in terms of stature, if not in terms of league positions and all that. Spurs against Chelsea, the London derby, and that's a big one as well in many ways. So Spurs obviously started well, 3 wins on the trot, top of the table. And now they've got red cards and injuries piling up though, because Tanganga's out, Son is out, Mora and Pogba are doubts because they limped off. They very nearly lost in midweek to was it Rennes? Yeah, they nearly lost to Rennes in the Conference League. So is the honeymoon phase over for Espirito Santo? Or
absolutely, I think this is exactly what he'd never. This is exactly what I think. There's a Portuguese curse there, like with Mourinho as well. Kind of when he gets in, the entire team starts getting injured, and yeah, they've injuries piling up. They don't even have they don't have backups. I really don't know who gets in for those players. So I think it's definitely on the fire. The heat will be on. Okay, how much can you depend on Harry Kane as well? He has no service. If Dele Alli, really, yeah, I have no idea. I feel that they're going to struggle. That's why it's much easier for Chelsea now. I think even if the Chelsea just play their second team right now, with the Spurs, they will win it easily because of the defense. And the Mendy is wow. Mendy, Rudiger, James. James is back from I think the red card as well. I think he'll definitely start. Christensen, I think they played.
Is he back on the red card? It was only a 1-game suspension. Isn't it 3 games? It was straight red.
3.
No? It should be 3 red if it's a straight red. Or is he back? I don't know. I have no idea.
I think they did appeal. I could be longer. I think he should be back.
Okay. Well, I have no idea.
But I don't know. Maybe he still is out. Maybe I don't know.
But in any case, Reece James probably has bigger things to worry about than a Spurs win at the moment with the Champions League medal being stolen or whatever.
His medal's kind of gone. But then
by the way, whoever has stolen it, if you're watching this, I know you're not watching the show, but if you are watching the show, by any miracle, you know what? It's not yours. Return it back. Just give it back. The guy worked hard for it. He got it. Just return it back. It's not yours. I have to keep. But anyway, yeah.
So it's much easier for Chelsea now. I think and with Lukaku, I think I really like that goal from Lukaku because that's the only time that he kind of got ahead, and that's actually a striker's goal. I'm just thinking that how does he manage his time? Because because Mount is there, but he's not kind of he's not going to start Mount. Lukaku comes in. He is there to kind of terrorize the defense as well for them. So it's much easier. I think Kovacic is out. I think he's injured, but I don't know if Kante comes back because Kante has been injured. He's been injured as well, but they have enough. They have Jorginho there. They have exactly. Mount is there. Hudson-Odoi. They have a good amount of players. Alonso, and I think Chilwell will come back as well. I think.
He hasn't played a lot, so Chilwell is there. They were Alonso. They've got enough options. I mean, Prakher, here's a question. It's a bit of a controversial question for you. Harry Kane on one side, for Spurs. Does he look across at Romelu Lukaku? And he wonders what might have been because Lukaku has been all around the place. He's gone to Chelsea. He left Chelsea. He was at Chelsea and he left Chelsea. He went to Everton. He did well there. And he goes to Manchester United. He goes to Inter Milan. He's playing in the Champions League. Now he's back at Chelsea. He's playing for the big. He's playing in the big. And then Harry Kane there. He's at Spurs. He's been loyal to Spurs. And not getting his team up. Is there a sense of envy there for Harry Kane to wonder? You know what? And maybe he is. Maybe he is as good as Lukaku. Maybe he's not. That's a debate for another moment. But he just feels like that should have been me. That could have been me.
Yeah, I think every player has that. That could have been me. And he missed the chance to go to Man City this summer only.
Mm-hmm.
And he could have been playing in the Champions League with probably one of the best sides, right? And he's not even playing the Europa League. He's playing the Conference League.
Yeah, let's put some respect on the Conference League. It's a decent competition. I know it's not the Champions League, it's not the Europa League. It's a decent competition. Maybe he'll win a trophy out of it. You never know. But it just feels like I just wonder how much resentment there will be if Spurs don't do well at the end of the season. If they're not in the Champions League at the end of the season, I just wonder whether Harry Kane will have resentment towards Levy. I mean, it's perfectly natural to have that, but will he have the resentment to think, you know what, we had an agreement, you broke it? I don't know.
I feel that. Definitely. I think it's not about just looking at Lukaku. Just look at Grealish. Just look at City, where we were supposed to go.
Or Sancho, even.
Exactly. Look at all those people coming in. Look, Ronaldo came back.
Mm-hmm.
And, we're not even talking about Kane. Imagine, the situation right now we are in. We're not even... City is scoring 5 without a striker. Proper number 9 and proper number 10 as well. So then, and here we have a team which is, Yeah, gentleman's agreement. I think Levy. I think he is filled with that rage. He will feel that this is he. I don't know if he played it wrong or Levy played it too well. But then obviously it has to feel. He has to kind of feel a little resentment because he's not going to be this year's Premier League's top scorer. He has to say bye
Yeah.
bye to that like right now. That's not going to happen. It's going to be between Lukaku and Ronaldo only. That's very clear because they will get the service. There is nobody else. Salah can score individual brilliant goals, keep scoring them, but can he do 30 this year
Well,
again?
Nishikant thinks he can do 30 goals this season, so maybe
Yeah,
he'll be there. Maybe he'll be there. Maybe Jota will be there. We don't know. But yeah, but we're not
We
talking
don't
about
know.
Kane. I think the point is we're not talking about Kane. I think that I just wonder what his mindset will be. I think at the end of next season he'll be telling Levy, either get me out of here or I refuse. I don't know. I don't know what he will do next season. But I think I don't think the situation works for him. I think he's got to put his foot down and say next summer I need to go. You've got to let me go. And maybe he needs to do something. I know there are no buyout clauses and things like that.
Yeah.
He's got to look at something because I'm sure it's not a good situation. But anyway, we'll go moving on. Yeah, sorry. Okay.
Yeah, I think his agent messed up big time.
His agent is his brother, I think.
Yeah, it's his brother.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard also a bit, I mean, maybe his agent messed up. I don't know. Sometimes, they try not to put buyout clauses in contracts. Because see, again, contracts is two-way thing, right? If the club doesn't agree to a buyout clause when you don't have to, then it doesn't work. So it's easy. It's all well and good for us to say, you should have got a buyout clause put in there. But, levy is levy for a reason. You don't just put buyout clauses if you don't want to. So I don't know. I don't know what the situation is, but there's got to be some resolution next season. But anyway, we'll focus on this match now. Chelsea against Spurs. I think there's still a big game. I mean, they did well. They got the result that they needed to get against Zenit. Then they've actually done pretty well as well. I think they were pretty good against Aston Villa as well.
Yeah.
Are there any weaknesses in the squad? Do you think in the team? Any points of weakness at all?
It's very hard to kind of come up with that because they look so complete and so relaxed.
No is an answer too. You could just say no, and we have no problem with that.
I don't think that no is the answer though, because I did feel that with that the freak James red card and it just kind of opens up stuff. Alonso is something which I always feel is a weakness for them. Because defensively he's not really your defender. He helps you attack, and that's because you always see people attacking on that side only. All their games people are targeting that left. I think he starts left mostly. People start attacking that wing immediately because they feel that he's not going to track back as quickly as much possible. That's the only thing. But apart from that, it's pretty solid. They have a solid 11 right now. Yeah. They luckily don't have any serious injuries like long term. And obviously Tuchel has kind of brought a different side to them. So in my mind, they are definitely the favorites to win the Premier League. Also retain the Champions League. But yeah, things can change. It's a long season.
I would say between City and Chelsea who's going to win the Premier League. I think that's pretty much obvious. Maybe Liverpool will have a say in it if they can keep their squad injury free. But those will be my three. But anyway, I keep saying that a lot. Prakher, I guess final question, just from a Spurs point of view, they've got a lot of injuries. What's the mindset got to be like, going to this game? How do they prepare for it mentally to try and win it or even get a draw?
I think they should think about the season. I think it's an important game for their season. Like if they want to qualify for anything from Conference League to Champions League, this is the game that matters in the long run. Mm-hmm. So I think they won't win, but I think therefore they should aim for the draw, minimum a draw.
Okay. I mean, they did beat City. We all thought they would lose to City. They beat City. So, you never know what can happen. And I mean, I'm sure Sanchez will be back. Romero will be there. So they'll have some things. We'll see what happens. Anyway, score prediction time. So, Knayha, what's your prediction?
I think it's going to rain goals. Chelsea is going to thump them. It's going to be one-way traffic from the start. he's going to press them up. Everything is going to be up. The whole game is going to be in Spurs half. There's no runners in that team right now. That's what I kind of keep going back to. Like, okay, he'll start Mora because he has to. He has no other option. He has to give something.
He might be injured, so he might not start either. So
I'm like, you don't really know, but we could start with an injury for some time, and then because he has to give some support to Kane. You can't start youngsters against Chelsea. That's just kind of demoralize the entire team, and so it's going to rain goals. I think 5-0 in my opinion. Chelsea scores 5 against, and Lukaku hat trick again.
Wow, that is a bold prediction right there. 5-0. Prakher, what's yours?
I think it will be 4-0 to Chelsea.
To Chelsea, right? Yeah, can we just say that it's going to be a walk in the park? And then you can't probably watch this when you walk in the park for Chelsea. You know what? 5-0, 4-0. I think that's about on point. I think it'll be. I'll say I'll be a little bit generous to Spurs and say it'll be 5-1. They'll still make a goal, although I don't know where that goal is going to come from and whether Mendy will let one through because he doesn't generally let goals through. So I don't know where they're going to get it, but I'll be a bit generous and say 5-1 to Chelsea. I think it's going to be a win for Chelsea. And they're going to win bankers. I mean, final thoughts though. Just one thing that we're going to try to do from this time on, if I remember, but I remember today, so we'll do it. Who's one player that you'd pick for a fantasy Premier League team? If people are watching, they want to do one pick for the FPL team. Who's the one player?
I think it's Salah.
Salah.
So that's my captain as well. So I've played my FPL wildcard already. So I've gotten Salah, I've gotten Lukaku, Jimenez, and Bamford all set. So I'm waiting for Bamford to start scoring goals now.
Salah. So Salah is Knayha's pick. If you are doing your fantasy Premier League teams, if you don't have Salah, maybe you can pick Mo Salah in the team. Maybe you shouldn't. If everybody picks Salah, then it's not really the thing, isn't it? So, but anyway, Mo Salah. Prakher, your pick? You have one?
Grealish. I think I will pick Grealish.
Yeah, I think that's a very sound pick as well because they're playing Southampton. There's going to be goals and assists on offer. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think Jack Grealish is a good pick as well. That's great. Those are two very good picks. I'm trying to see what the games are, and my picks don't usually work out. So take it with a pinch of salt or whatever. But you know what? I'm gonna go. Because Liverpool are playing Crystal Palace. Actually what? No, because you already picked Salah, right? So I'm not going to pick that. I'm not going to pick the same. I'm just trying to see the games. You know what? Take a pick from Leeds. Take Patrick Bamford because they're playing Newcastle and Newcastle suck. So, maybe take a chance. Take a chance on a Leeds player, you might get some points there. I mean, Newcastle suck. Let's be honest. Newcastle suck. They are in trouble this season. Yeah. So they take a pick from Leeds. Well, maybe a shout out to Bamford. Or maybe Rafinha, maybe one of those players, take a chance. You never know. So anyway, those are our picks. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Thank you so much, Knayha and Prakher, for joining me on the show.
Pleasure.
All the best for our teams.
Always a pleasure.
Yes. Always hope our team does well, and let's hope the other teams don't do so well. But that's just wishful thinking. But anyway, enjoy the games over the weekend. We'll see you again very, very soon. Thank you so much, everyone who watched the show. If you did enjoy it, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And please do share in your comments what do you think about the games coming up, and do you think we were too harsh with the predictions? Do you think we were on point? Did you like some of the subtle digs we took? Did you think that we should have taken more? Anyway, whatever you feel, let us know. And we'll see you again very, very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.